Hey guys, what's up? So today I'm going to talk about Shannon and I meeting up and kind of meeting for the first time and how we sort of met everything. And for some reason, I think in my head like I've done a video sort of like this, but maybe Shannon did one in the past. But I don't know, we get going with so many videos. But I've seen a lot of comments lately as far as asking me about some of the details and stuff. So here we go. Shannon and I met on Match, if you guys aren't aware of that, and this was almost 3 years ago, actually. So I came across Shannon's profile on Match, and everything like looked pretty good as far as like, on paper kind of thing. And she had a bunch of like really cool, like hot pictures. And as I was going through them, I thought to myself, you know what, she looks kind of like higher class, she looks kind of like high maintenance and stuff, and yes, I kind of like prejudged a little bit. And so I was originally thinking, okay, I'm not going to bother, even emailing her or anything because I don't want some high maintenance kind of chick. And then I came across a picture of her in the water with her water ski for water skiing, and then I instantly changed my thinking. I thought, oh my gosh, she's water skiing. Like, it's not a very common thing to like do that people do. So when I saw that, one of my favorite things to do, like my favorite thing is water skiing. So immediately I was like, there's a connection right there. And I'll like bypass some of the other thoughts like that I had. So I knew right then and there, and of course, like a lot of people, when you're talking with somebody or trying to meet someone or something, you always kind of look for a way in, and that's usually what you do if you're meeting somebody out on the street. You're kind of like planning, or not planning and thinking and scheming, but just kind of like, what kind of a connection or similarity can I maybe lead in with? So basically that's what I did is I kind of led my email message in as far as with the water ski thing. I was like, the first thing that I hit on was the water ski thing. And so I emailed Shannon and never heard back. So that's not uncommon, especially on dating websites and stuff. You email all kinds of people and they never, message you back. So I waited, I think, a couple of days or something, or a few days, and this was very uncommon for me to do because I really didn't email people back, a second time. But there was just something that I thought, you know what, I probably should just email again, just wait a few days. And fortunately, I did that, and fortunately, I'm now, married, so it ended up working out. But I emailed a second time, and then now looking back at it, Shannon got so many emails on there, being a good-looking girl and stuff, that it probably just got lost in her emails and stuff, because she had said, I don't remember getting any first email from you or seeing one, which makes sense. Somebody's getting a lot of emails and junk emails and stuff like that. So fortunately I did, email a second time, and then from there we kind of, slowly started, emailing back and forth, and then it moved to being able to like text and stuff, and kind of your usual progression, I guess. We started to build a little bit of a rapport of kind of like who each other were and stuff like that, and we both kind of like seemed cool enough where we decided at some point, we wanted to meet up. So it wasn't until, I don't know, a little ways after or whatever, that we met up. It was a few weeks, I think, or something like that. And then I get the other question a lot of, did you know Shannon was, in the adult film industry and stuff before, and did you watch videos and stuff? And I hadn't seen any of Shannon's videos, or if I did for some reason, I didn't know it was her. So that part I didn't know, like, ooh, like she's a porn star and I've seen her in all these videos, that's cool, I want to meet her. I did kind of find out that she was something in the adult film industry like a couple of days before we actually met up. I think for most people in today's day and age, you kind of would like to investigate a little bit more of like who the person is. And to this day, I feel a little bit, weird and kind of like awkward and kind of lame that I, looked for some information. However, I didn't watch any of her porn, and I didn't try to seek out naked pictures and do all that stuff. Wanted to keep that out of it. I was just kind of like curious of who she is, who I've been talking to for a few weeks of, and I think that's kind of normal for anybody. So I didn't really know about the adult stuff until a couple days before, and I just said, you know what, I'm just going to keep quiet. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to, blurt it out or anything, because I don't want to make her feel uncomfortable, and I feel a little bit weird that, I tried to like find out a little bit of information about this person I was talking to, or that I was going to meet up and stuff. And I think it's probably more, or I think that's probably safer for girls to maybe find out more about a guy than necessarily a guy find out about a girl, just for safety reasons. But so fast forward to when we first met up, and when we first met up, she was actually going to visit her family, which was kind of close to where I lived. And when we first met, Shannon and I lived about 45 minutes from each other, or maybe an hour depending on LA traffic. I lived kind of in South Bay, Southern California, South Bay, in the area like Manhattan, Hermosa, Redondo, that kind of area. I was living in Hawthorne in my house at the time, and Shannon lived in the valley, so in Woodland Hills. So if you guys are familiar with the area, anyways, it's about 45 minutes. So anyways, a lot of her family lived kind of in the South Bay where I lived, maybe 10 minutes away. And so she was going to visit her family for one night, and then I said, hey, if you're coming this way, let's meet up maybe before or after or something, because you're going to be close. And we had been talking for a few weeks or whatever at that point too. And Shannon was kind of hesitant to meet up for the first time, with me, but I kind of pushed it because I've done a video a few weeks ago about online dating and stuff, and I kind of like stayed out there to everybody. It's like, hey, when you're doing the online dating, try to like meet up. You don't want to extend it out for weeks and a long time, because you don't want to invest all this time and effort and emotions and stuff in texting and emailing, and then you meet up for the very first time and instantly like, nope, this is not going to work. So I wanted to kind of progress things and move things forward, not as far as, oh, I just have to meet up with you, but it's like, hey, let's meet up to see, is it yes or is it no, and we're going to find out real quick, so we don't have to keep another week and another week going on and on. So fortunately, I was able to convince or coax or talk Shannon into meeting up with me. So she went to her aunt's house, and she was spending some time with her family, and then I came over actually to her aunt's house. I didn't go inside, but I pulled up basically in front of the house, and I said, hey, I'm out front. And so she felt comfortable because it was basically in front of her aunt's house, and it was like a safe situation basically kind of for her. So she ended up coming out of her aunt's house, and then we walked down the block to basically go in her car, and we kind of got in her car and we sort of started talking about doing something, but I think she had already eaten dinner and she didn't really drink coffee, so we kind of killed some of the let's go to a bar, let's go to dinner, let's get coffee. So as we were just kind of chatting in the car, it ended up just being chatting in the car. And so we ended up spending 4 hours in her car, no radio or anything, just sitting parked for our first date or meetup, just talking in her car. And we talked about everything you can possibly like imagine. And very forward conversations, as far as a lot of like porn stuff and what we're into and stuff like that. And I think that was just kind of like the nature of the beast, her being in the porn industry, because that first time that we met up, she actually stated, hey, I'm involved in the adult film industry, and I've been in videos and stuff. And so she told me that first time that we met up, and that was really like forward and bold and of a move for Shannon, but she just wanted to kind of get it out there, and I totally understand that part of it, even though like I know it was probably uncomfortable and stuff. But however, at the time, like I said, I didn't know the details. I knew just she was something involved with, or used to be involved with, the adult film industry. I just didn't really know to what extent. Anyways, I had kind of told her, say, hey, like I didn't really know, and just because I didn't want to make her feel uncomfortable. And we talked about it, months later. I told her, I said, hey, I found out a little bit of information a few days before, but I didn't want her to say, I'm, involved in the adult film industry, and be like, oh yeah, I totally looked into you, and I saw that you did that, because I was just kind of like, I didn't want to make her feel uncomfortable and kind of awkward and stuff, and I just didn't think it was necessarily right at the time, although like feel a little bit weird. I didn't just say, yeah, I looked you up and I saw all this stuff. Then basically from there, it just kind of moved along forward, and then of course we have a million stories past that, but that's kind of like our first initial meetup. And after that, like I said, I think a week went by before we met up a second time, and then we slowly started progressing to being married now. So anyways, hopefully that answers some of you guys' questions and gives you guys some information about Shannon and I and meeting up and everything. And if you guys are curious about online dating, I did an online dating tips a few weeks ago. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll talk with you guys later. Thanks for watching. If you guys aren't following me on Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter, and all that stuff, all my links are down below. And I don't know, I guess that's about it for now. So hope you guys are having a great day. I will talk with you later. And I'll be here tomorrow. Will you?